Okay, looks like we have Audrey on the left with Jeskai, and on the right we have Alec on Omnitel. Thank you, Nico, for the party hats in the chat. I love the party hats with the non-English messages. I don't know why. I just love that. Turn 1 preordained for Alec. 1 Komoda, thank you for the sub with Prime. Looks like a first-time sub, and a hype train just started. We're in a hype train.
Hi, guys.
We just started the match. We're in a hype train. All right, that's Storm Chaser's talent for Audrey. If you've been hanging out with us on stream recently, you've seen the Otter tokens and the Storm Chaser's talent class from Bloomborough on a lot of our local tables. This card is good. Yeah, as a lover of, and I know it's a little corny to even say so, but like as a lover of travel and culture and food and language and all of it, having people watching this channel around the world is one of my favorite things about it. Where's everybody watching from right now? Let us know. That was a brainstorm for Alec. Now a ponder for Audrey. Cantripping is happening. Harry says, why is that corny? I don't know. I guess it's just a thing now. Like, you know, I see, I don't know if it would be considered a meme, but like people looking at dating profiles and the person's like, I love travel. And it's like, oh, God. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Harry in Ontario. No tariffs on the stream. Oh, God. Make it stop. Side Norna says, I'm watching from the 4th largest economy in the world. Side Norna watching from California. Scorpion, thank you for the sub with Prime. AJ Potato asking about a food guide for the 90s MTG tournament in July. Yes, July 13th here in New York City. 90s MTG Legacy Open. Details are posted in our Discord.
Cycle? Sure.
Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Yeah, I saw just the headline, but I think California surpassed some other nation or state as the, I think it was Japan, as now the 4th largest economy in the world. Alec cracking a fetch. So these Omnitel decks spend a lot of time looking through the deck, trying to find the pieces of the combo, trying to show and tell Omniscience into play. There are some other tricks. Creatures include Emrakul or Atraxa. Here's a show and tell hitting the stack. Immediate response to force pitching stock up. Another thing Alec could have been looking for is protection for show and tell. Flusterstorm works well. Looks like it's resolving. Both players selected something. Oh, okay. Audrey didn't put anything. Just Omniscience for Alec. And that could be game over. Stock up. Okay. So in response to the stock up, this town ain't big enough trying to bounce Omniscience. That gets forced. Well played here by Alec and taking game 1. Scalding Tarn. Pass the turn. We started off this stream talking about some, topical stuff. But at the top of the headlines for Legacy lately, definitely Jeskai Control, Omnitel, hot decks right now. That was a Ponder. I don't think that's a mystery booster Ponder. I think it was a promo for a Magicon. I could be wrong. But it was released shortly after the Mystery Booster 2. Who You Inc. Thank you for the bits. I actually have no idea how to pronounce that, actually. This is no longer something that's So we're a couple of turns into game 2. Prismatic Vista gets correct. Stock up now for Audrey. This card from Aether Drift took a little while to catch on, but we're seeing a lot on Legacy tables. If you've been watching our live streams, this card is getting cast left and right. Stocks up, exactly. Rachel Maddow says, I'm glad to see standard all-star Omniscience showing up in older formats. Hi, Conductor Harry with a great question. How does everyone feel about this new meta? Is Beans the new boogeyman? You know what, Harry? My take on it is that people haven't figured this metagame out yet. There's like the jump to conclusions crowd that look at like one Legacy challenge on MTGO. They're like, oh, oops, all spells. But I think the metagame is moving, churning, changing, evolving, in flux. If there was a big Legacy event tomorrow, I would not feel very comfortable. I'm not really a gambler, but if I were to gamble on the results, putting my money on any particular deck to dominate. Teferi Time Raveler.
Sure.
Response of a Brainstorm to Teferi. Teferi could be pretty annoying. Yes, C saying I'm enjoying the Sultai Beans, but it doesn't seem that unfair. So at the locals, we have some Sultai Beans players. I've been playing Boros Initiative lately, and every time I've played against Beans, I just crushed Beans. So far. Very, very anecdotal, small sample size. But, that can be beaten. How the metagame takes shape over the next month or two before Final Fantasy, I don't really know. People get stuck on, we talk about this so often, but people get stuck on the metagame percentages and the win rates and the whole thing. I'm having fun playing Legacy. I hope all of you are as well. Final Fantasy, I think, is in June. Okay, Show and Tell hitting the stack. Audrey's going to immediately throw down a Force of Will. Pitching stock up again. Alice is going to fetch in response. Could be seeing that Flusterstorm again, potentially.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Teferi. Yeah, Teferi. I forgot. Alec forgot. Everybody forgot.
go ahead.
I'll fetch.
All right, fetching with Flooded Strand.
Sanctuary targeting stock up or in response. I'm gonna fetch for a
You got
Okay, so holding priority here, I guess. Silent cycling for a volcanic while Mystic Sanctuary targets stock up.
it. It doesn't.
I said Teferi was going to be annoying. Can't protect your own show and tell with Teferi on the battlefield. Alec forgot about that.
Go.
Draw this plus, and I'm gonna get such
Card time?
a 4.
Stock up is back in Audrey's hand now. This could be a way to do it. Veil of Summer. Stock up in response. Instant speed stock up, everybody. Did they test a ferry? I don't know if they tested it. Is there like an article I could read? All right, Force of Will on the Veil of Summer. Does Alec have another show and tell? Yep, it's a stack. Pyroblast. Audrey controlling in this game. Death Tank, thank you for the resub. Or a first-time sub, actually. Thank you, Death Tank. Good afternoon. High Train Conductor Harry says bargain, Rakshas's bargain, is arguably better than stock up. I think it is. That's what Harry says. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But maybe. Aviator agrees.
Did I play a land this turn? I think
You
so.
played the Thunder.
I'll play another. Go ahead.
Okay, Stormchaser's Talon has been played twice on that turn. Teferi helped out. Some otters have been created.
The One Ring.
Trigger.
Yep.
The One Ring.
You're up.
Yeah, Rakshas's bargain, putting some stuff into the graveyard is pretty big. Teferi ticks up.
Surgical, your show and tell.
Surgical on show and tell. That seems pretty mean. Ouch.
Wow, that seems
What's left for Alec then? Assuming this list is pretty stock. What are the ways that Alec can win this game, Chad? With show and tell gone, how does Alec win?
yeah. You can shuffle.
Hard casting Omniscience? SF says, happy affiliate anniversary. Thank you, SF. Carpet of Flowers into Omniscience. I think Chad has the right idea. Hard casting Atraxa potentially. Emo says I've hard casted it before. Could there be an Uro in there? There could be.
Pass.
I mean, it's possible.
Yep.
The One Ring will help out a little bit, but Alec's life total is about to be under threat. Stormchaser's Talon has hit Chapter 2. Audrey has the mana to turn it into Chapter 3. It's going to get tough here. Echoing Truth, Double Omniscience, Veil of Summer in hand. Brainstorm gets Pyroblasted. now I'll stock up. We've seen so many stock ups even in this match, right?
Much is scored?
Yep.
Okay, discarding an Omniscience to hand size. Is it worth it to bounce Storm Chaser's Talon? Is it worth it to move it to level 3? I think Audrey might choose to end this game faster, but I'm unsure.
Corey Steelcutter troops.
Yep.
Okay, Corey Steelcutter. That's another great card from Tarkir Dragonstorm that we've been seeing on stream recently.
Storm Chaser.
We have these cards in Legacy that kind of go through a cycle of being popular, like trying to think further back in time, but like the Wandering Emperor, Hidetsugu Consumes All, a little bit further in time, Minsk and Boo, stuff like that. Is Corey Steelcutter here to stay, or is it going to be another card that, like, in a couple of months, everybody forgets about? All right, an accidental, like, handshake, but moving on to game 3. That was not the end of the match. Almost fooled me that it was over. 4th year Lingus got there. Aviator says, I hope it's here to stay. I think it's sweet. Yes, Audrey with the right tokens pointed out by iCubed. Very true.
Substantially better.
Unlike many of you, Audrey takes the game seriously. 1 card on the bottom, multi 6.
Yep.
All right, here's a ponder for Alec to start game 3. We've had some happy affiliate anniversary messages coming in the chat this week. Some party hats in the chat celebrating 5 years as a Twitch affiliate. Been building this thing with my bare hands, with your help, for 5 years now. And if you want to help out for free, just hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Appreciate it.
You already put these.
Easy. Yeah, we don't know which construct token Audrey uses at the moment. Hopefully the correct one. Here's Carpet of Flowers.
Did I see a carpet?
Slick Judge is in a festive mood.
Yeah.
Some phases.
Carpet of Flowers is in. Moving to second main. Island Cycling Lorien revealed. Prismatic Vista played off the top of the deck. Passing it back. Okay, looks like Alec has made a blue. Casting Uro. Someone in the chat earlier mentioned Uro. There it is. You were right.
Go. Fetch a plains and I can suck.
Power Blast on Uro. Island Cycling Lorien revealed. iCube says Audrey's deck looked like 100 cards. Does it look thick with 2 C's? I didn't notice that. Looks normal to me. We do have some local friends that play with these triple and quadruple sleeve decks, and those things. How do you shuffle that thing? I could never. One of my least favorite things about this hobby is sleeving and unsleeving and switching sleeves. Oh, man. I find it excruciating. Sometimes I'm like, I want to play this other deck. I have all the cards for it, but like the idea of sleeving it up, I'm like, forget it. Just forget it. It's not even worth it. Okay, Surveil leaves the card on top. Interesting. Yeah, Emo says use a single color for everything. I do that. Pyroblast on Show and Tell. Veil of Summer. Sounds like Show and Tell is resolving. What does Audrey have?
No, you don't draw, because I haven't played out.
Oh, right.
Okay, Audrey puts a land into play. Alec gets something much more exciting, which is Omniscience. Casts an Atraxa immediately. This is going to be hard to beat.
I didn't say it.
All right, Audrey scoops it up. We've seen enough. GG's. Alec gets it. Omnitel, everybody. Respect it. See a little bit of Audrey's sideboard plan there, taking out a bunch of removal. Okay. We're going to set up another poll for the chat to decide which match we will watch next on today's stream. Which match next? Your options will be Sultai Beans versus Red Stompy, or Jeskai Control versus Red Stompy, or Omnitel. Sorry, no, we just did that. Temur Delver versus Red Stompy, or is it Delver versus Dark Depths? You have 1 minute. A lot of Stompy in this next poll. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. A little anecdote or a little story I wanted to share. I talk a little bit on stream about loving the mind of a Magic player. I played against someone at FNM, Friday Night Magic, this past week. They sit down wearing an X-Men t-shirt, right? 90s X-Men cartoon t-shirt. Awesome shirt. So I compliment the shirt, and I was like, "Oh, that's a sick shirt. Are you excited for the Marvel sets coming out?" And the answer, to my surprise, was no. I'm upset they're doing a Marvel. I'm like, what? What the hell? Okay. I was just trying to make conversation. Rug Delver versus Red Stompy is up next. White Cocoa contributed 2,100 channel points. Temur versus Red Stompy. Let's do it. Let's do it. I just was not expecting that response. I was expecting, yeah, it looks cool. I hope they do Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever. I don't know. I was like, what? Magic players, man. All right, let's set this up. Diving in. Player initiative creature, use swords to attack. You know, it's like it's not that good. It's also like Temur on the left, Delver, that would be Roland. Mono Red Stompy on the right, that would be Ed. Slick Judd says, "How dare you ask someone who likes two nerdy things if they like when those two nerdy things collide?" Yeah. It was just such a Magic player moment. It felt like. Like, I'm going to remember that forever.
Maybe.
Stop putting the things I like into the things I like. One Komodo says, I used to own an LGS, and this was a weekly occurrence. I always wanted to put together conversation snippets and start a comic.
I've been playing with your monitor.
Magic players just say the funniest stuff. To me, I think there's, like, so much comedy in it. The personality of a Magic player. One card on the bottom for Ed. Mishra's Bauble looking at the top of the deck. Will Roland fetch and shuffle it away, or do we like it? Okay, we're fetching.
I'm ramping whether you want me to or not, dude. It's hard to go off. I should have swung with my one. Oh, misplay.
The last time I played Right.
All right, turn one ponder for Roland, setting up some draws. I don't know if the players knew what they were up against as they started this match. I mean, these players know each other. They know what decks are kind of in each other's range, but could affect some of the decisions here. We'll see how that plays out.
And draw. And see what's going on.
Alright, is Witherable not a human?
Got what you got too.
Okay, another Mishra's Bauble. Taking a look at the top of Ed's deck this time. So Roland's going to have 2 Bauble triggers here.
Two. Sure.
I spotted a Magus of the Moon. I spotted a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Maybe Ed is trying to decide between the 2. Crawfish likes Ancient Tomb.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Did they test Ancient Tomb for 1v1? Like, was this card tested enough? Seems kind of busted. Seems like it was a mistake. Here's Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Got dazed. A Wasteland for Roland could be big here. All right, a Wasteland right away. Fired off. You know, the games you lose with these Stompy decks are so often get dazed, waste my land, force to will my next thing, and I just lose the game.
Doom. Yeah, 5.
You just don't get it.
That is disgusting. This is the most disgusting. I don't think.
Yeah, Ed may have already lost this game, but we're going to see how this plays out. Obviously, Roland doesn't have any creatures on the board yet. There's plenty of time left on the clock for Ed to draw lands and start slamming Fables and Maguses and Paraglyphs and the whole thing. The dog with a question, Temur Delver might be the next deck I pick up on MTGO. Any advice for piloting the deck? Well, without going into a whole deck guide right here on stream, our Discord server definitely a good resource for questions like that. Okay, Magus of the Moon is in. Roland will be shut out of blue for now. It's pretty big follow-up for Ed. Might have just drawn that Simian Spirit Guide, right? But as far as playing the Delver deck, you have to feel the tempo. Yeah, what would be like the general advice for a Delver deck? Well, your approach in different matchups will change quite a bit. Sideboarding is a important skill to learn with that kind of a deck. Like any deck, really. But knowing the ins and outs of your sideboard, why the slots are what they are. And kind of remembering that you're not an aggro deck most of the time.
Still in the turn.
think that's where I would start. SF with great advice. When in doubt, put your DRC surveils into the graveyard. Yeah, fill up that graveyard if you're not sure. The Chandler Tron is here, wishing us a happy affiliate anniversary. We just passed 5 years as a Twitch affiliate. So Ed's stuck with 2 City of Traders now, which is really, really awkward.
On your end step, now it's fine. I'll draw the inscription, put it on top of my deck, draw a card, cast it.
Still see play. I used to play a lot.
There's a Delver for Roland. And then a Murktide. This game is going really well for Roland.
This was a crack game for this deck. I promise you the deck's not bad.
The Chandler Tron, thank you for the resub, 20 months. And a message, hype for Legacy, and hype shout out to LobsterCon this week too, pre-modern. Thank you, Chandler Tron. So a 7/7 Murktide and a Delver that could flip. Ed is in serious trouble. And having the 2 lands in play be City of Traders is not good at all.
That was pretty wild.
In fact, it's terrible. It's pretty bad. Super awkward.
The Dryad and the Transcendence Void that could not be.
A Chrome Mox could dig Ed out of this situation, potentially. It's going to be hard to kill this Murktide, though. All right. Making 2 mana with City, playing a Sundering Eruption as a Volcanic Fissure. Are they forgetting that the other City of Traders triggers as well?
That this is not a one. This is not a one-on-one.
Wait, this is probably I have like 3 different
Kind of just disregarded it.
I had a I figured you play your deck.
It is. This is my new player deck, but it's also my first player deck. So this is a bench deck.
Okay, playing a Broadside Bombardiers. It looks like the players are missing the City of Traders' second trigger. I'm kind of surprised. Medieval says cube. The green is 1 land and barely used. It's just for the Druid, half of 1 card. Yeah, the
So this is kind of the deck that like I remember having it in the
I would if I were you.
yeah the City of Traders is has been missed.
Oh, I know. I do that all the time. And then I'm like, why did I do that?
Yeah, in these Delver decks, as Medieval was pointing out, it's not really that much of a green deck at all. In fact, the questing druids don't even get cast in every game.
I know I'm sick and tired of it. You know, I hated removal and interactions.
All right, we're seeing a pretty major error early on in this match. The City of Traders should be gone. Both players missed it. Broadside Bombardiers is stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So you have to take 3 when you. If it.
Yeah, I took the.
Yeah, you took 3.
I believe I took the 2.
Yeah, because I don't think I attacked you with anything else so far. You took an Ancient Tomb and also.
I took an Ancient Tomb
so
and
you
that,
got 15. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's bad luck to not have it.
Well, Insectile Aberration and 7/7 Murktide will be attacking. It's a lot of damage.
I saw a lot of decks that work. I only have 1. I'm just like,
Captain Hindsight is here. All right, a Wasteland on the City of Traders. I guess it died eventually.
I know. They're basically trying to be like.
Yeah, the 1 ring or something could help, but even then, at 5 life, against the lightning bolt deck, Ed is in some trouble.
Kind of iffy though. They're doing 4 Mother Roads, 4 Cubs, 4
Planes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm skeptical.
Sure.
I don't want to buy buying just to actually.
Following up with a Fury could be big. Whoa. Fury pitching Magus of the Moon.
And they're gonna reprint it like 7 times. Yeah.
You can make green.
This could wipe out Roland's team.
So in response to that,
Yeah, they're pretty good for a lot of decks.
to activate from that, so bolted response.
Yeah, so with that on this.
Yeah, with that on the stack.
All right, with that on the stack, the Fury on the stack, we're going to bolt Broadside Bombardier, so we'll never get a chance to boast, and Roland takes game 1.
I saw you playing against Dom in like, I think it was like a 2-minute game.
Yeah.
Rolling up a game. We get these questions. We just had one a few moments ago in the chat about like how to get started with a deck, how to up your game, the whole thing. After you figured out how to play your deck, after you figured out what the other decks do, the level ups will happen in being the kind of player that, you know, these things get missed sometimes. The best players miss these things sometimes. But keeping an eye out for your opponent accidentally having a second City of Traders trigger missed, that's a big part of competitive Magic.
Sure.
Paying attention to so many things. This game is so hard. And I know at like these Monday night events, like what we're watching right now, about halfway through, I personally am starting to feel tired. You know, these are work days. It starts to get late. Did I forget my keys? You know.
Oh, I meant like a loose play. Yeah.
Broadside Bombardiers. Fetching before combat. Leyline of the Void is on the battlefield for Ed, which could be pretty useful here in Game 2. I don't know if I'm a fan of bringing in Leyline against Delver. How does everybody else feel? Bolt takes out Bombardiers. Okay, a big wasteland on City of Traders. City of Traders is down. Going after the mana of the Stompy player could be a really effective way of shutting them down. Fable of the Mirror Breaker following up. Hydroblast on that. Roland's having the disruption. Yeah, the Leyline shuts down Murktide, but also Delirium. There's a Ponder for Roland. Medieval, thank you for the sub with Prime. Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess the Tameo regrowth ability as well. I don't think Roland Tech even has Tameo, though.
I totally failed. I was so busy looking at
Geodude says, thanks for the raid yesterday. I really appreciate it. You're very welcome. I've seen your Goblin decks. As a somewhat of a Goblin player myself. Keep an eye on Geodude's list. The only person really putting up any results with Goblins recently. Do we have any Goblins watching right now? Sinorna says the best way to get better at Magic is understanding that losing is often the best way of learning. Yeah, I mean you're gonna take some losses. You're gonna take that long drive, that flight, that long subway ride, whatever it is, to go jam some Magic at a competitive level, competitive event, and you're gonna scrub out, and it's not gonna be your fault. It's just gonna be, you know. There will be lessons to learn in there if you look for them.
Bigger targeting. Like these two. And then
I often hear Magic players talk about like, yeah, I got so mana screwed, and like my opponent had every card they ever needed, and the metagame, yeah, I mean, like, you know, Reanimator is just too good, you know. Totally looking at it the wrong way, in my opinion.
Why do I have you? I had you at 11.
What do you have control over?
That's what I was thinking about the whole time.
So I had you at 13. You cast the thought cast. I moved you for 2 down to 11. Then did you tap the one? Or did you tap this?
All right, Roland continued to cast spells and have them end up in exile with Leyline of the Void on the battlefield. Ed is going to try and slam another 3 mana card, it looks like.
Okay.
5 cards in Roland's hand. Its number says if I had a 55% win rate on average, I am happy.
I'm gonna drain you for 2, and I'm gonna return land. Yeah.
Okay, some. I was like, why are we paying 3 mana for Chromox? But Chromox came in, imprinted a Magus of the Moon, it looked like, and then casting a 1 ring, it got forced.
6. I'll move the combat. Hit you 1. I'll play the waste. I'll waste your. Yeah, the one you said unless you have something to stop it. That's a perfect. Let's do 1, 2, 3. I was worried you were gonna have to force there.
Here's a brainstorm for Roland now. Is Ed hellbent now? Doesn't look like there are any cards in hand, right? Are we completely out of ammo? If so, that's good for Roland. And then on the other side, you have people that are like, you know, I played, you know, going back in the previous metagames, for example. I played Temur Reanimator. I tested on MTGO for 16 hours. I played in a 2K, and I went 0-3 drop. This format sucks. Maybe you suck. I don't know.
If you drop it with full life,
I'm kidding. So funny to me.
This ocean 1, 2, 3, 4.
First room is basic magic, right? Yeah.
I played against Eldrazi 3 rounds in a row. One of those people. Chartwin, thank you for 5 gift subs. And our sub goal of 280 was reached. Thank you, Chartwin. I know some Magic players that are archfiends of depravity.
I remember someone.
A lot of red, a couple of red.
Twitch chat and celebration. Thank you, Chartwin. All right, that is a Dragon's Rage Channeler for Roland. No delirium.
Let's see what you got.
All right, no further plays for Ed. Roland's going to fetch. It's a 16-turn clock. That is right.
Look on that. Swing at you with a 5/5 here.
2 damage. Enter service.
Really good, damn.
Yeah.
Sure. Tapping.
Yeah, it's a rupture.
Attack card. Holding.
Dumping, it looks like.
Do
Is that Ancient Grudge?
Draw. Okay. Swing.
I've had it for so long.
Interesting tech, Ancient Grudge. Roland could have gone after that Chromox. Yeah, maybe for the cutters.
Play this.
Well, I don't know why I tapped this as vision. Didn't matter. It was indestructible. You did hit me, though, right?
Yeah, Wear Tear Fused would have been cool here. No white mana, though. Attacking with that sad Dragon's Rage Channeler. It doesn't have much rage at all. Here's Delver. Delver could be a little bit better. Yeah, the flurry mechanic was a huge design mistake. I think that much is for sure. It's probably going to be a 10 out of 10 on the Storm scale. Blood Moon, ouch.
Oh, I say Jesus. This
Yeah, don't get me started on prowess.
it's like almost that good.
For anyone new around here, we're just explaining the joke. The joke is that every Magic set and every mechanic was a mistake, according to the people on Reddit.
It's starting you, surveil trigger.
So with a broke the game.
Cards in hand.
Green, white,
Alright.
for
Trigger Delver.
the Enchantress. She has
No cards.
non-keyword Shroud.
Think two.
Well, Delver doesn't flip, attacking for 2. Ed is getting a lot of extra time here, but still not playing any creatures. Romario with a bold claim. Banding was a design mistake. Brainstorm revealed. We'll flip Delver. Roland has that basic island, which could help out.
Ridiculous.
Players are kind of laughing how long it's taking Roland to win this game.
Oh, Jesus.
Sorry.
Yeah, a Pyroglyph off the top for Ed could just win the game right now. Ed has draws that Roland would not be happy about. Ezra's in the chat is Ed saying I was drawing all lands at this point.
Single.
Herald or Pantheon. Just makes it
Stompy life. It's Numba pointing out flying was a total mistake. You know what? Now that you mention it, now that I think about it, bring back horsemanship. Come on.
What color are your
Unfortunately, well, not that it matters. It's just thing.
All right, another sad Dragon's Rage Channeler getting in another attack for 4. Ed has now dropped down to 5. Ed needs to do something at this point.
Yeah, so you cast it. Yes, so you now need to do cast.
Show me your worst, man.
Okay, so is that on the stack? I'm going to cast Force of Vigor,
Yeah, 2 cards.
exiling up the Beanstalk, and I will target
This area and
Painter.
All right, Dead successfully kills Delver's Secrets. And then passing the turn. Lightning Bolt. That is the match. Roland gets it. Leyline of the Void. It did something, but it didn't do enough. GG's. GG's. Well played. Let's set up another poll for the chat. Which match next? Your options will be: is it Delver versus Dark Depths, or Bug Beans versus Red Stompy, or Jeskai versus Jeskai, Death and Taxes versus Depths, or Temur Delver versus Breakfast. You have 1 minute. Get your votes in. Slam those votes. Jam those votes. Spam those votes. Delver always winning, yeah. It is somewhat of a Jeskai mirror situation. Some people are curious to know more. Some people are not. All right, poll happening in the chat. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. All over the place, we have our TCG Player affiliate link. Make sure you bookmark it and use it when you shop. You'll be helping us out in a big way. Thank you, everybody that's been doing that. Check out TCG Player using our link. Bookmark it. As most of you know, this channel is brought to you by you. We don't have any big sponsors or anything. I'm not going to bore you with some product that you all should buy. Just hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. That's free. Follow our Patreon. That's free. Join our Discord. That's free. Come hang out with us. The Chandlertron says to do it. Death and Taxes versus Black Green Depths is up next. The Dog contributed 2,400 channel points. Let's do it. Let's do it. Diving in. All right, Dark Depths on the left, that will be Bobby, and on the right we have Roland on Death and Taxes this time.
Only elemental. I'm going to search for a... 6. Yeah, I'll do a mountain.
Getting ready to go. Urion revealed top center of your screen. It sounds like Bobby has taken a mulligan to 6. Roland has kept 7.
Yeah.
All right, multi 6 for Bobby. Roland kept 7. Roland on the play, cracking a prismatic vista. Playing either vial.
Yep. You know this one. Oh, that's definitely not the bean deck.
Not yet.
There we go.
I'll play a forest next time.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Vial in the Mem Knight.
I will...
Yeah, exactly. We can do that, I guess.
Has anyone ever seen a Aether Vial drop a Mebnite?
Yep, I'll put 2 counters on this. Little text, trigger.
Now we want to see it. AJ Potato with a great question. Chris, are you happy with the channel after 5 years? Any goals we're working toward as a community, production-wise, content-wise, etc.? Great question. So, am I happy with it? Yes, I am. We've been, what AJ Potato is referring to is we just passed 5 years as an affiliate on Twitch. We basically started streaming on Twitch 5 years ago. Roland, who we're seeing play right now, is a big part of kind of the beginnings of 90s MTG on Twitch. Verdant Catacombs fetching a swamp for Bobby here. So I'm satisfied with how things are going. I can't believe I'm doing this for 5 years at this point. Like, when I first started doing it, I thought like I would do it for a month and then it would just end and I would move on with my life. Seriously, that's what I thought. Come on, third.
Swords trigger.
Swords of Plowshares.
Nope. I've got...
All right, I wanted to hear what Bobby would name because that's kind of important. Double Prismatic Vista, Caracas, Skyclave Apparition, Recruiter of the Guard, no copies of Swords to Plowshares, which was the card named. But goals to work toward as a community. We have coming up in July 13th, here in New York City, the first ever 90s MTG Legacy Open. Kind of opening up some new opportunities potentially for all of us as a community. Not just me, not just the channel. More large prize pool, legacy events, firing.
Apprentice. Smog, target myself.
I lose here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically you just like target your.
Chain of Smog, what Witherbloom Apprentice combo has just happened. Let me get the text for these up on the screen as Roland figures it all out.
I mean, because I have to reveal it.
Sedgemoor
Sedgemoor
Witch, yeah.
Menace, Ward 3.
Yep. Does it also work with these two?
Yes, but it creates 1/1s.
One.
So it doesn't kill instantly.
The pests. Yeah.
All right, the other card was Sedgemoor Witch. I just want to make sure everybody understands what's going on in the game before I start talking about other stuff. So that was Sedgemoor Witch, another combo with Chain of Smog.
Right before, I'll have a thing first.
So Bobby is up a game. Back to what I was saying. The 90s MTG Legacy Open, that event and the coverage of it that I eventually do will be big for 90s MTG and the Legacy community, in my opinion. The community at large, in my opinion. Will people decide to, support our efforts to grow Tabletop Legacy, grow the coverage? If 90s MTG eventually will be a channel that covers large events like SCGs or, I don't know, Eternal Weekends or whatever. I'm just kind of throwing things out there. We're going to need your help. We're going to need more of your collective support for sure. These things have costs. I'd love to eventually upgrade our equipment we use for recordings and eventually do live streams on location. But we need more people watching. We need more people to sign up for memberships. Remember that memberships can be free if you have Amazon Prime over on our Twitch channel. If you'd like to donate, we have a Ko-fi page. Subscribing for free on YouTube helps us out a lot. But one thing you can do that is like more valuable than many of those things is just share 90s MTG. Like go into your Facebook group, your Discord server, your whatever, post, hey, I've been really enjoying 90s MTG. Check it out. This channel, I've been, learning about Magic gameplay and metas and whatever it is for you. Make a recommendation. I could go around the internet posting my stuff all over the place, but it's something different when it comes from you. So there's the thoughts he's resolving right now. Double Solitude, Pre-War Foamaware, Recruiter of the Guard, Flooded Strand revealed. Dr. Pepper, thank you for the gift sub. 6 now on the channel for Dr. Pepper. Really appreciate it. Solitude discarded.
Thank you. Yeah. Fair draw. Sure. Okay.
But anyway, if you're enjoying 90s MTG, you want it to grow, you want more of it, contribute something, and I don't necessarily mean financially. I get it. I get it, folks. I get it. I'm not taking it personally. Here's a Dark Ritual. Is rolling in trouble. Turok, Dreadcanter with Kicker. That card is really annoying.
With kicker, so discard 2 cards at random. Throw white, and we have.
And at the end of the day, this is a community-funded channel. Like, these platforms like Twitch and YouTube, they don't bring in a lot of revenue. I don't know what you hear from people. This channel is kept afloat by its members. If everybody canceled their paid memberships tomorrow, we're done. I'm like, this is no longer worth my time. I'm moving on. I'll go make videos about something else.
All right. Let's see. You want to just pick 2?
Yeah, sure. Let's just pick 2.
These ones. Those ones.
Ah, Solitude's
Solitude's still there.
Solitude is still in there. Recruiter of the Guard and the basic planes are discarded. But Turok is on the board.
You can bounce it whenever you want. It's your turn.
EOT ain't gonna do this. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to lose all my cards again. Let me get a elegant.
Okay, sure.
All right. I think I answered the questions we had in the chat about growing 90s MTG. We'll leave it there. Yeah, the Hymn to Turok creature is pretty cool.
I think I will eventually.
Yeah, at some
I
point.
mean, I don't want you to do the Dark Ritual
Modern Horizons is bad.
until I'm ready to, cast it.
Turok Dread Cantor, a really cool card.
So Surveil. I will. Sure, I'll leave it on top.
Bobby's deck is mostly mono black, but there are some green cards.
All right. Two. Draw. All right.
It's basically Dark Depths with Witherbloom Apprentice combo.
3 mana.
3 mana. Reform War.
Alright.
Okay, Pre-War from Aware comes in. It's going to bring back Recruiter of the Guard. This is a big turn for Roland. Got that Pre-War from Aware on the board. Had to lose a Caracas.
What do I need here?
Yeah, original Tarmogoyf just is not good enough for Legacy these days.
Stoneforge Mystic.
Okay.
Stoneforge Mystic is found. It could be Viled in here. Vile has 2 charge counters on it.
I will pass it back over to you.
I'll draw.
Yep.
Not of the draw card.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go to 1.
Yeah, you go to 1. I will then move into the 4th room, draw a card.
Yes.
Stoneforge Mystic.
That Turok Dread Cantor is going to be a pain in the butt with protection from white. 4 power right now. Further discard spells could increase its power toughness.
I will attack.
Attack it for 4.
I'll play a Witherbloom Apprentice.
Okay.
And I will pass the turn to you.
Okay, Witherbloom Apprentice is on the board again. This card is scary.
You have 3 cards right now?
Yeah. It's just a bear, I swear.
Bobby trying to convince Roland that the bear, the Witherbloom Apprentice is just a bear and is of no threat. I don't think Roland is convinced.
I was able to like play even for
It's pretty good. It's between the jewels and the designers.
Okay, an end step activation of Vile.
I don't want to die
No,
instant
die.
speed.
No.
Alright.
Unless I had the Born Upon the Wind.
Oh gosh.
Okay, Stoneforge Mystic hits. Roland's going to look through the library and find an equipment. What would be the wackiest equipment for Roland to find right now?
That's 2. Input.
What equipment would make you LOL? Chainsaw. Chainsaw could kill something.
Fair enough. It will kill that Torah.
Chainsaw could potentially deal with this Turok.
Sure.
Vile has ticked up to 3. The Chandler Tron is excited. Yeah, Chainsaw looks pretty solid here.
Until my next turn. 3/3 right here. I'm going to.
Yeah, blinking the Chainsaw with Flicker Wisp is cool. Attacking with the Recruiter of the Guard, it is equipped with pre-war formal wear.
Name Elemental.
Sure.
Fury.
Chainsaw deals 3 damage, right?
Sorry?
Chainsaw deals 3 damage.
Yeah, 3 damage to target creature.
Making sure.
Chainsaw getting flashed in potentially by Stoneforge could be really important for also stopping the Witherbloom Chain of Smog combo. But one still has that Solitude, right?
Yes.
So we have options.
Fury,
It's the third period.
yeah.
Could not give us.
I'll play a Legolas Quick Reflexes, targeting the
In response.
Split second, can't respond.
No, I can't respond.
Hexproof.
Alright, do I get priority at all afterwards? After it resolves?
Legolas's quick reflexes cannot respond. It has split second.
It's back to me, right?
Yeah.
Targeting the Witherbloom Apprentice.
Because this is hexproof. Then I'll play a Chain of Smoke.
Ah, jeez.
All right, Roland did not respect Legolas's quick reflexes, I guess, and Bobby will get the match. GG's. Bobby's Witherbloom Apprentice deck, pretty disgusting. Pretty disgusting. Wow. Let's head up another poll for the chat, shall we? Keep things moving along. Which match next? Your options will be Bug Beans, Sultai Beans versus Red Stompy. Or is it Delver versus Black Green Depths? Twitch chat once more of that Depths deck. Maybe we'll see that win the poll. Omnitel versus Red Stompy. Sultai Beans versus Sultai Beans. Bit of a mirror match situation. Let's leave it there. Let's chit chat. Let's let Twitch chat vote between those 4. Let's see what happens. I think that's some variety. What do I want? All right, I voted. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. We now have one of the largest Magic the Gathering Discords, especially for Eternal Magic. Make sure you're in there. Join our community. 30 seconds left on this poll. One of the options is running away with it. We have a merch shop. We have a coffee page. We have a Patreon, all that fun stuff. Links are all over the place. If you'd like to support, go check those out. Okay. Almost done with this poll. And it will be Omnitel versus Red Stompy. Let's do it. Diving in.
Modern has been in such a bad place that it's like This is my opinion. Minimal here.
I've been a modern specialist.
Alec on the left with Omnitel. Mono red Stompy on the right. That would be Derek.
By the way, thank you for coming back to the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
You actually convinced me.
Glad to have you back.
Yeah.
So
I was worried a little, but then I was like, I was saying to myself, Al was right about a lot of stuff going on with it. I'm
We
like,
play.
Oh, I play.
I was like,
All right, players getting ready to go, drawing up hands, all that fun stuff.
I actually just won the.
Both players have kept 7. Derek is on the play. I don't know if the players knew what the other was on. Should be fun. City of Traders.
Spirit guy?
Attempt to play Blood Moon.
Sounds good.
Blood Moon on turn 1. It's a good start if you're a red Stompy player. Will it be enough to stop Show and Tell? Basic Island. It's a good start for Alec now.
Yup.
I'm gonna try this.
Custom?
Just a Lotus Petal and passing the turn. Okay. Okay.
Mountain. Pass.
That was a Gemstone Caverns.
See where
I don't know what this is.
Legendary Land from back in Time Spiral. See some play here and there. Lorien revealed gets Island Cycle. Aviator says they're both bad guys, referring to the decks, but I still want Mono Red to lose. What are the heroes of Legacy? What decks are the heroes?
The card enters untapped.
Yep.
Okay, another basic island. So we found basics. We're fighting through the Blood Moon just fine, but just passing the turn.
makes it.
Sure.
Okay, we're really mooning now. Magus of the Moon. Don't think Alec really cares though. All right, there's Miss Rise Village. It's shut off.
Yeah, totally. That's fine.
3 damage.
We have 17, you're at 19, right? That's one.
Yes.
Oh, not Miss. Sorry, it's called What is this card called again? Oh, Miss Rise Village. There we go. Oh, I had it right the first time. Okay. Yeah, I would say Blood Moons are staples in Legacy. They're very important in Legacy.
Vomit eaters.
Force that.
Okay, Broadside Bombardiers is getting forced pitching impulse. Respecting the Bombardiers here. Attacking for 2 with the Magus of the Moon. If you've been hanging out in the Legacy spaces for a while, I'm sure you see people talking about power creep and the whole thing. One of the most powerful types of card in Legacy are the lands. The lands in Legacy are what allows so many of the powerful decks to exist. I mean, the dual lands, obviously, for fixing, the fetch lands, the soul lands, City of Traders, Ancient Tomb, etc. The lands of the lands decks, Maze of Ith, Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, etc. You get the idea. So cards like Blood Moon. Oh, we didn't even mention Wasteland, but Wasteland obviously blows up other lands. But Blood Moon and effects like it are super important in Legacy. Here's the One Ring.
That spell. Okay.
Yeah, let me read this.
This. Whenever you cast a color spell, makes it 0/1.
Okay, Derek's going to draw a card with the One Ring. Derek also plays a Sekenzin. And there hasn't been a lot of power creep over the years for lands, really, in Legacy. You know, we're still playing with the fetch lands. We're still playing with the dual lands, the Ancient Tombs, the City of Traders. The kind of other lands that see play are not really as dominant, I guess. That was an Uro.
Tap trigger for the ring. I'll take 1. Draw.
Yep.
Attempt to draw 2 cards.
Let's go.
Trying to draw 2 cards with the 1 ring.
No. Bombardiers.
Okay, Broadside Bombardiers. Another attempt at that. Broadside Bombardiers, as most of you know, could end the game quickly.
Segmenting phase. Fable.
Yep.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker, the follow-up.
I'm gonna throw this token in.
Said I still don't really understand.
Okay, the Goblin Shaman made by Fable is sacrificed to boast Broadside Bombardiers. 2 damage to Alec, who drops to 12. It could be possible for Derek to end the game on the following turn, especially with something like Powerglyph.
I know what that card does.
It's not going to be possible for Alec to flashback, or escape, I should say, Uro.
Trigger. I'll take 2 17.
We're gonna have plenty of time compared to last round.
Yeah, for sure.
Trigger for the Fable.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker is moving to Chapter 2. Maybe Derek will find something
I'll discard
interesting
Eruption and
to throw with the Broadside Bombardiers.
discard Blood Moon. I'll draw 2 cards.
Okay, discarding Sundering Eruption and Blood Moon. Both cards are not super relevant right now.
I'll attempt to draw 3 cards.
All right, draw 3 with the 1 ring. Looking for a way to end this game. Derek's deck is more than capable of delivering a knockout punch this turn. 12 life is not enough for Alec to feel safe. Alec could obviously have counter magic, though. Looks like Alec is holding a copy of Omniscience in hand. We're getting close to being able to hardcast it, I guess.
They print that card.
The Ancient Tombs are shut off by the moons, though. But we're getting close.
Dude, I wish this card.
I don't think Alec's going to last that long, though.
Signaling phase.
We'd be missing out on the initiative.
Okay, so the 4 damage gets through from attacks. Gonna throw the 1 ring to deal 6 damage. Alex looking through the sideboard, and while that's happening, Derek shows off a hand full of pyroglyphs.
Yep.
You're good, right?
Yes.
So the boast of the 1 ring on the stack, Cunning Wish in response.
Cunning Wish is good.
This guy.
What is man?
Yeah, it's Trick Bind.
Awesome.
And then I'll
Trick Bind, that's fine. Yep.
Trick Bind.
And then I've got a bobble.
That's awesome. I love that card. That made my day.
Derek's like, oh, that's awesome. That made my day. Check this out.
Boy.
Enchantment,
Sorcery, artifact, creature, instant, so land. No, I think it's just instant, sorcery, creature, artifact, enchantment. Yes, I'll hit you for 5. Or 3.
All right, Alec drops to 3 from the Powerglyph. It has 5 power.
3 in him? 4?
4 right now.
I'll pass.
There you go. I'll draw on your
Okay.
Oh my god.
All right, so the Trick Bind did the job.
You got it. My stock up was 5 lands, and then I drew a land, played Euro, drew a land, and then drew another land.
That's
It's
absurd.
like 8 lands in a row. I'm like,
All right, so little mana flooded was Alec there. Derek showing off the hand. Derek up a game.
That's crazy with Sonic.
Yeah, I could just. I could reveal it at any time. I know what it is.
It's 6 mana, right?
Yeah, it's cost 6 mana. It costs for 3 mana
looks like Alec has kept 7 on the play here for game 2. Derek in the process of mulliganing. Nope, Derek kept 7. Ponder.
Go ahead.
All right, pass the turn after a ponder. Simian Spirit Guide gets exiled. Ancient Tomb into.
A great turn. Grim Monolith?
It is Fable of the Mirror Breaker.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a return.
Force.
3.
Force pitching Brainstorm. Okay. To be honest, I'm surprised we saw Fable get forced. I don't know if Alec usually cares about that. But that's what happened. Stock up now. I guess Fable is just such an engine. I don't know. Looks like Alex holding another copy of Force of Will. All right, here's the One Ring.
It was on 3.
It was on 3, actually. Sorry.
Yeah, if Alec had a slow hand, maybe the turn 1 Fable is too fast. I don't really have a feel for that. I could be totally in the wrong.
So make 3 blue, use 1. I'll get 5 blue.
Think about it some more. Yeah, I mean, it allows you to filter some cards. Eventually becomes a copying engine. Fable of the Mirror Breaker is not a joke card. Alec respecting it. Maybe I should respect it more. But the One Ring has resolved. Derek has drawn a card with it now.
I won't take damage, but I still have to sack because it doesn't target its defending
Use
player.
the 3 and the 1 blue. Cast Pure for 3.
What does that do?
Return any number of non-token, non-land permanents to my hand, draw them difference.
It's until your next turn. Right?
Until my next turn, yeah. If I cast it. I gain protection from everything.
0
until my
mana.
next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, so Derek currently has protection from everything. Alec is tapping 3 mana for Show and Tell.
I'll put them up.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Omniscience, and on the other side, Broadside Bombardiers. Cunning Wish for free.
In your yard, right? Nexus. Kind of wish from the exile. If you play a land, this dies, right? May I? 3. 14. Yeah.
Shared Summons is found by Cunning Wish. It can be cast for free, finding Emrakul and Atraxa potentially. Or maybe like Verdant Force and a Chroma Angel of Wrath or something. Okay, we're going with Emrakul and Atraxa. Okay. You never really know what they'll find. Yeah. It seems like Derek's not ready to concede yet. Here's Atraxa.
Yeah,
Cast a key.
sorcery, artifacts, enchantments, instants, land, sorcery.
Consign to Memory, sink into Stupor in there, another Omniscience, stock up, Show and Tell, Impulse. Keep in mind all of these can be cast for free.
Sorcery.
Combat.
11.
Slowly but surely, DRC gets there. Come on. Come on, DRC.
Yep.
Ponders ago? Sure.
All right, those cards will go to the bottom, the ones we don't want. This game's still going. I think Emrakul. It resolves. Trigger the extra turn thing.
You take my extra turn.
Yep.
Combat.
Yep.
Trigger Annihilator.
Yep. I take no damage.
Yep. Cast another emissions.
Yep.
Spell.
Yep. Storm counts 2.
Yeah, no damage got through because of the one ring, but I mean, Derek is still in really bad shape.
Oh wait, sorry, I can't cast things on your turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just make game 3.
Okay, we are going to game 3. That was interesting. Moving on to game 3.
I'm at 6 right now? Yeah.
Have fun.
Nobody has owned a concession, I guess. All right, players drawing up hands here for game 3. Derek will be on the play. Immediately keeps.
I think. My only good one.
All right, both players cup 7. A good game 3, hopefully in store. Ancient Tomb, Chalice on 1. Okay. It's getting forced, pitching Sink into Stupor.
2 to 4.
No mana floating now, right?
Correct, yeah. Trigger, yeah. So you take 1.
Exile some spirit. Fable.
Okay, Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We saw it get Force of Willed earlier in this match. This time it looks like it's resolving. It will make a Goblin Shaman. And passing the turn back to Alec. Derek with the very interesting 3 rows of permanents. Creatures, then enchantments, then lands. Very, very interesting. Alec resolving a Ponder now.
Chain some zeros here.
Years back, I remember seeing Derek playing Legend of the Five Rings. Do we have any L5R players watching? Do we have any Star Wars Unlimited players watching? Game of Thrones Living Card Game players watching? Lorcana players watching? Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I'm going to discard a card. I'll discard Bombardier.
Okay, discarding Broadside Bombardiers. Maybe looking for red mana? Yeah, Fantasy Flight games are fun.
Yeah.
I'll discard a Fable.
Or either of the 2 lands.
I also like Keyforge. I played that a bit. Do we have any Keyforge players?
To combat.
Can't do anything else, yeah. GG's.
Same main phase.
Tough. Yeah, it took me like
12.
I had to draw like 12 cards to find.
All right, tapping those 2 Ancient Tombs to drop to 12. The One Ring getting consigned. It's countered.
So if I sign up for it in the deck, you know, it's high variance, but
Yeah.
Okay, Hedge Maze, Surveil.
Lotus is hard.
Okay, Lotus Petal. No signs of show and tell just yet. Reflections of Kiki Jiki, and Tarek moves it into the creature row.
Oh, with the forge? Yeah, sure.
So Kenzone is the land, channel land from Neon Dynasty. One that makes 2 spirits. Going to 10. Broadside Bombardiers now. The clock is speeding up. Alec was at 17 when this turn started, but With broadside bombardiers, as most of you know, this game may quickly spiral out of control now. Another Fable of the Mirror Breaker making a Goblin Shaman. Attacking with the team, making another treasure. 4 damage gets through.
Do you play the Do they come in
Okay, casting a Chromox, just having it deal 2 damage, a 0 mana shock, I guess. So Alec has dropped down to 11, and with Reflections of Kiki Jiki on the board. All right, show and tell is happening now. It will be Omniscience. Emrakul Atraxa. Oh!
Yeah. Like strictly control and tempo games.
Ouch!
I'm usually a Beans player, but I've really found a list that I like. The new set came out with Workshop as a bargain and stuff like that.
I feel like I set myself up every time.
It's cool, it's cool. But I don't know. I'm like a huge fan of like Soul type Beans, the deck, so.
Little bit of going through the motions at this point now. I think Derek is a goner. Dress down, Force of Will, Ponder, Trop, Cunning Wish. Alex is going to get to take another turn.
Blue Black's really good. You need like Barrel Boy or something like that. I don't know if they play in the main actually, but that card's really good against me when I play Beanstalk.
Turn?
It seems like a really good card.
Seems pretty good.
It seems really good. The list I saw had net.
Unbelievable.
Yep. You got it.
All right. Alec attacks with Emrakul, and that is it. Alec wins the game. Derek gets close. GG's. GG's. Oh, were there 2 instants taken there? I didn't see that. But yeah, unlikely to matter in that situation. But do be careful, folks. Do be careful. All right, another poll for the chat going live momentarily. Which match next? Your options will be Bug Beans versus Red Stompy, or Temur Delver versus Breakfast, Cephalid Breakfast. Breakfast, Cephalid Breakfast versus Blue-Black Echo of Eons. Bit of a brew. Is it Delver versus Black-Green Depths, the Witherbloom Apprentice deck we saw earlier? Or Jeskai versus Red Stompy, Jeskai Control. 1 minute. Get your votes in. Don't forget that you can rig the poll with your channel points. Our Discord server is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. We have a merch shop. Reminder that July 13th, here in New York City, the first ever 90s MTG Legacy Open is happening. Tickets are still available. Maybe I'll see you there. Maybe not. Who knows? About 30 seconds left on this poll. People are voting like crazy for this one. Almost out of time. Less than 30 seconds. People seem pretty decided here on what they want. Do I know how many spots are still available? Not off the top of my head, but it's there are spots still available. Monquero, thank you for the 2,400 channel points. Temur versus Breakfast up next. Let's do it. Monquero? I don't know. Sometimes I am just the worst with pronunciation. All right. Let's set this up. Diving in. we have Temur on the left. That will be Roland. Yosef on the right with Cephalid Breakfast. Mandraw, thank you for the sub with Prime. 19 months. Appreciate it. And thank you for the party hats in the chat, everybody. Celebrating some 90s MTG milestones this week. 5 years as a Twitch affiliate. Still can't believe it.
Okay, go ahead.
The plan was not to do this, whatever this is, for 5 years. But here we are. Still going. And Roland's eating peanuts, it looks like.
Basics anyway.
Okay. Okay.
Very interesting. Ponder here for Yosef.
That's good. I'm glad I wasn't a snap keep.
Thundering Falls, Cervelle. Basic Island into the graveyard, pass the turn.
Brainstorm.
Okay, a Brainstorm, playing a fetch just to be safe, playing around days. We've seen Yosef quite a bit on stream recently with this breakfast deck. Doing pretty well at the locals. Kind of an interesting phenomenon that exists in our community is that most players tell me that they have a negative record on camera. So it's like everybody thinks they have a horrible record on camera. It's not really mathematically possible, but Yosef an exception. Yosef says, I have a good record on camera. It's very interesting. Here's a Delver for Roland. Yeah, name a single person that has one on camera. According to Yosef, Yosef wins. Hedge Maze, Cervelle. People of the chat, just for fun, though. Who do you think has the best record on camera? Which players that you've seen regularly on 90s MTG do you think have the best record? Hedge Maze, Cervelle to ponder into the graveyard. Reed Duke. Phil. Here's the Fairy Time Raveler. I honestly don't know what Reed's 90s MTG record is. I don't know. I think it is a winning record, though.
Bounce your Delver. Go ahead.
Okay, Teferi Time Raveler. Bounce the Delver. Teferi is going to be a pain in the butt, as usual.
You may play, so if you hit a land, you can play it.
Okay, replays the Delver. The thing about Teferi is it protects the breakfast combo. Roland's interaction of Lightning Bolt and counter spells will be shut off by Teferi if Yosef tries to go for it. All right, Unholy Heat. Unholy Heat can hit Planeswalker. So Teferi is defeated. Yosef knows that we got an Unholy Heat out of hand now. Yosef has been pretty good at assessing these situations. Can I go for it here? We don't know that Yosef even has the combo in hand, but... Narcomoeba. Okay.
Sure.
All right, just a Narcomoeba and then pass the turn. Delver trigger. No flip. Roland looks at it for a moment. In disbelief.
I'm gonna shuffle it
Okay. Roland thinking about changing the top of the deck. That makes sense. All right. So whatever is on top, Roland did not want. So fetching here with the Misty Rainforest before draw step. Tropical Island comes in, revealing the Temur colors.
Okay. Actually, you got two bombs. Yeah, the mana just. I should have shuffled the bond.
Not likely Delver will be attacking into the Narcomoeba. I see a Force of Will in Roland's hand. Could help out. 5 cards in Yosef's hand.
That's a keyboard. You got with 2 cards in hand and 4.
Okay, just a land drop, passing the turn. Swordsing the Delver.
If you hadn't played I'm still at 15 life. I think I'm going to be I can't do the 15. I was thinking of folding
Okay, Nomads and Core. That is a combo piece. Do have to watch out for Cavern of Souls for the follow-up.
Before I start getting the triggers, this is red.
What's going on?
Permanent.
I'm redirecting the next instance of 3 damage
Oh!
to the Nomad. Or from the Nomads here.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, Nomads and Core saves itself, and then we'll get bolted anyway. Nomads and Core is gone. Roland forgot about that for a moment. Good plays from Yosef. Yosef plays really tight. This is a player to watch on our channel, folks.
Yeah, this deck is a lot of fun.
Plays really well. Murktide Regent. Hitting the stack. Looks like it would be a 6/6 if it resolves. It is in. 6/6 Murktide.
I haven't got counted that much myself, so I can't really say.
Yeah, Nomads and Core does have an important ability.
I'll try those swords to
Sounds like Yosef has the Swords to Plowshares. Trying to hit this Murktide now. Rolling, snacking on peanuts.
You have cards? How many? 3.
3 cards left in Yosef's hand. Roland does have a Force of Will, but is it important to hold on to it for the possible combo? Roland thinks it's important to protect Murktide. See how this works out. Swords is countered. Passing it back to Yosef.
No, let's run it back. No.
This is like, so you get this card, and you're in there, and you can, it's in line.
Another Swords. All right, Murktide down.
No, I think the best 3 of these 2 decks would be fun.
I don't know what Neutral Milk Hotel is.
In the Strixhaven standard era. Actually, that's what I was thinking.
Here is Nadu. Roland's fetching with a Scalding Tarn. Does Roland have a hard cast Force? It sounds like it.
Bone Crusher.
Then a Nomads and Core. Well, Nadu countered. Nomads and Core resolves.
Seems okay against this deck. I'm not sure if it does anything go anywhere.
Teddy bears, like all the tall times.
A creature. That's a good one. All right, go ahead.
All right, that's a creature, and it's a good one. Dragon's Race Channeler.
A creature. Oh god. Okay.
All right, Nadu is a pretty good creature, too. Now we're going to start the Nadu Nomads game. Prismatic Ending is found. Narcomoeba is found. Roland's going to scoop it up.
No, this is one of my cousins. It's the trap card. More. The EDH, like, you would need it to count whoever runs this.
Yeah, we're watching games at Game Storia right now. And they do have some kind of music playing most of the time. A little hard to predict what they'll have on the playlist. A little bit all over the place, which I like.
I had the Euros, so I didn't really care about Johnny Utah.
Any requests? What music should they be playing?
Video, and I was thinking.
The magazine. I can deal with all the other stuff.
All right, one card on the bottom for Roland. Side runner says Nadu leads to such great gameplay. Here's a Delver.
Well, I think this is the basics.
Perfect.
Carpet of Flowers gets Daze. Going right after Carpet of Flowers. Delver reveals a Lightning Bolt. Flips into Insectile Aberration. Good start for Roland. Attacking.
Don't get blinded by one card.
This is a hand that
Oh, another
isn't doing anything. I don't know.
There's a Delver of Secrets.
This is the girl next door kind of hand. Yes. She's not a bombshell, but like she's nice.
Is Nadu much worse than like the old Elves decks playing Glimpse of Nature and then like casting 36 spells in one turn?
On top over, but like has the right,
Like, how are those things different? This is something I struggle to kind of like wrap my mind around. Like, why is one thing fine, the other thing not fine? Or some like Allurin player doing the same thing over and over again. I'll bounce Cavern Harpy, I'll do this, I'll do that. Food Chain, I'll cast whatever one of those weird creatures are from exile. I'll make this mana, I'll do this, do that. Storm. It's going on and on and on. What's the difference? What makes Nadu more annoying for you?
Oh, I draw.
I'm asking for real. Here's Daze on top of the deck. Shuko on the board. All right, rolling with quite a clock here. Yusuf does have Shuko on the board, though, which is a combo card.
Prismatic Ending.
Okay, Prismatic Ending on Insectile Aberration. I think Steamboat making a good point here. People just don't have nostalgia for Nadu. That might actually be the answer.
I as a Magic player think I would.
That's the best answer I've seen. They just have no emotional attachment to it. Super says, what's a good deck against Nadu / Breakfast? Tired of losing with Delver. I'll just say this. Like, the Breakfast deck's weakness is often their mana. Lightning Bolt to the face.
I do dislike that about PGA draft. And PGA draft's great for like collabing format and like trying to like solve.
Well, like in PGA draft would also be like I think people would say
Insectile Aberration attacking.
I mean, it's the same with like LGS draft too.
Satel pointing out that blue-black tempo feels insanely strong. Discard plus waste plus removal against Nadu Breakfast.
I'm gonna build around that whether I.
One of the big weaknesses for the deck, though, these Breakfast decks, are its mana base, though. You Blood Moon them turn one, they're in trouble most of the time.
Got bolt. Double bolt. On fetching.
You like Loam Wasteland them over and over again, let's say, they're in major trouble. It's comma is Yosef in the chat, hitting the mana or answering threats without going down on cards. Yeah.
Days.
The fact that he doesn't, the fact that he's as huge as he is now.
Like Beanstalk decks. Source of Plowshares gets Days. Insect Elaboration lives.
And my parents were like, "You anything on that you shouldn't do?" And I was like, "Okay." 2 a.m.
The channel has right now. And like maybe doing like
I don't watch his other than his opening. He opened that alpha bag. That was awesome. It was so much fun to watch.
Is this 3 rounds?
Did not know that.
He is not the best GPG player.
Also, like, you know, I'm just imagining every possible scenario. The decks that start the game with like turn 1 Dothy, Voidwalker, and a Thoughtseize, that kind of thing.
Charlie fan. Love that guy. He holds a special place in my heart.
That's what I wasn't sure
Probably one of my
about.
favorites.
So you're at 3.
All right, dropping down to 3 is Yosef, passing a turn. Yeah, Orcish Bowmaster's pretty good against Breakfast as well.
Cousin Calvin visits. You are one of those. You have the play.
What about Death and Taxes? Playing like Death and Taxes against Breakfast? Do people think that's pretty good? Here's the Fairy Time Raveler. That's going to be a pain in the butt. All right, Force Pitching Delver. All right, we are going to game 3. Roland takes game 2. Yosef will be on the play here for game 3. Getting ready to go. Game 3, folks. Everybody is on the edges of their seats.
I'll try it.
Okay, turn 1, Ghost Vacuum. Interesting.
I don't mind that. It's just the normal. That's the only thing that saves you. That's why look for what do you call it?
Alec in the Ink making a point that we've heard in the chat a few times recently. My thing about Nadu is that Wizards literally told us it was a design mistake. On that premise, it should be gone. I don't know if this is playing devil's advocate or not, whatever. But most of the cards in Legacy, if we're being honest, like the staple cards are design mistakes. I just don't know if that's a relevant thing for Legacy. A card being a quote-unquote design mistake. Like, they would never print a card that does fill in the blank, right? Like, every Legacy staple card in 2025. They just wouldn't do it because it was a mistake. So, just the argument that Nadu is a mistake, that it should be banned, I personally just don't agree. I don't think that that's enough of a criteria, let's say. Not very relevant to me. True Name Nemesis. Mistake. Lay of Old. Gristlebrand. Yeah. Well, No Man's Encore is equipped with Shuko. Both combo cards, but don't combo with each other very well.
Or any decent card. Like post nice anything post nice.
Okay, Wasteland going after the mana. Getting rid of the Tundra. High priority play. Getting rid of blue. Ghost Vacuum will be activated. Side owner says Nadu makes games go longer. Yeah. Maybe.
Oh yeah.
You know, there are a lot of cards even in Modern, like Blood Moon, for example, and Primeval Titan and I don't know. There are some others. I'm just blanking right now, but like they wouldn't print them into a Pioneer level set necessarily because they're looked at as like the gameplay isn't the best, design wasn't the best, you know. So Delver flips into an insectile aberration.
No one has fun.
Primeval Titan did nothing wrong, yeah. Teferi Time Raveler. Was that card a mistake? I think everybody gets my point. And, you know, Wasteland, right? The fetch lands. Wasteland was standard legal, or type 2, as it was known at the time. That's just crazy. Here's Ponder. And you know, in today's world, if they printed Wasteland into standard, people would be like, "What are you doing? The hell has Wizards lost their minds?" Yeah, Wasteland and the fetches are in hindsight, right? Like, you know, years and years later, right? It's easy to say, but they were mistakes for the game, maybe. But then they live on in formats like Legacy, and they're part of what makes Legacy kind of beautiful. Legacy is a bouquet of beautiful flowers of mistake magic cards. All right, Richardin Pizza says Wasteland is balanced. Each player loses 1 land. Satel says print strip mine into modern.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the 28.
Brainstorm for Yosef. Has the Nomads, has the Shuko, no sign of Cephalid Illusionist, no sign of Nadu so far. Roland is very pleased with that.
The deck has aesthetic.
Yeah.
I get it. Also, a lot of damage.
Have you seen how much the foil costs? It's crazy.
Almost a lot of damage. Players to resource
Right. No. I would rather use one card. I only get one card.
Yeah, foils I don't need, but I will try and get the old aesthetic within reason.
Kind of go with like wild secret lair versions.
You're a terrorist.
Trigger these like pre-modern people that.
If I'm playing pre-modern, someone plays a SpongeBob Days and run around just right in the face.
2 cards left in Yosef's hand. I don't think any creatures have been exiled with the Ghost Vacuum yet, right? We're quite a bit of ways from being able to ultimate the Ghost Vacuum, but still keeping Roland's graveyard pretty empty, which is annoying. Murktide region, of course, needs the graveyard to be full of stuff.
I'm sure you're only doing this.
Yeah, Roland will brainstorm. A little bit of a race happening here with the Nomads in Core and the Insectile Aberrations. Nomads in Core, remember, as we saw earlier in this match, can redirect damage. It's pretty annoying to remove with Lightning Bolt. There are 2 of them. Nothing to redirect to right now, but that'll be something to keep in mind as this game goes on.
Tough to say.
Runaway Steam King.
You could sometimes see a Surveil land, dump a Narcomoeba into the yard, get that in play. Equip it with Shuko, then Insectile Aberration has to stay back on defense. It'll be hard to bolt these creatures, and there are things that could go pretty wrong for Roland here. Cavern of Souls Playing a Cephalid Illusionist or a Nadu could be a big problem as well. There's a Wasteland. Nothing to waste right now, though. Yosef is aware of his deck's vulnerabilities to Wasteland. Got the basic lands on the board early. Exiling Wasteland. Fetching now at Misty Rainforest. If we can get Roland to fire off this Wasteland, we could eventually play, potentially or eventually play a copy of Urza's Saga. Roland hang back on the Wasteland to respect Urza's Saga. We'll see. Yosef is down to 12, though. Meticulous Archive to Surveil. So not even showing green mana right now, which is interesting. Looks like Roland's holding a copy of Daze and a Force of Will, I think. Yosef's deck does have removal. Insectile Aberration is no guarantee that it will get across the finish line. Okay, so blows up the Meticulous Archive. Cuts Yosef down in mana. Tank it with the Nomads and Cores. 3 damage. Two cards left in Yosef's hand. A Ponder hits the stack. It's going to resolve.
Yeah, you're reading the card. Yeah, I will only ever draw one. You just, yeah, so you either middle draw one card, draw a card. Finally draw a card. Your end state, your end state.
Okay, found a Trop. Cooperative Flowers. This is going to be pretty good, potentially. Sea Priest asking, is that Ponder art contentious? I like it, but I know there are not fans. Basically, every art on a Magic card, somebody is going to jump in. Like, nobody even asks them. They're just going to jump in and be like, actually, I don't like that art. I prefer the OG or whatever they come out with. So I think it applies to, like, every Magic card.
They just lost.
I gotta bring that back.
Crushed them, yeah.
Somebody watching right now is like, actually, I prefer Black Border Tropical Islands, personally.
That's weird, because the Mets haven't...
They'll leave a comment.
Like, their pitching's been really good.
These people are never happy. All right, so here's a Delver of Secrets.
I don't think so.
Oh, then when I hit a Grand Slam, I'll get close to my 20%.
What about the frames? Did we talk about the frames yet? Which frame is the best frame, chat? Some people will be like, "Wow, Roland's deck looks so nice." Other people, "I hate foiled." You can't please these people. The Magic player is unable to be satisfied. You people are grumpy, really.
Oh, nice.
Shock with a great question. Is this standard? It's whatever you want it to be. Mr. Bibb says, I don't want to be satisfied. I want to complain. Yeah. One Kimoto says, Eternal Weekend, my opponent goes, ew, gross at my cards. I was like, thanks, I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of that out there.
Go ahead.
Back when Amonkhet was new, I got one of the Invocation Dazes and put it in my deck. And then I cast it during a Legacy event, and somebody was like, "Is that a Yu-Gi-Oh card?" I was like, "Shut the f off! Shut up!"
This is probably the first thing we do with 19.
And then I completed the set.
I'll make 2.
Part of the point of this show, these live streams, is to point out that Magic players are the worst. We're the worst.
It's your deck. I'm gonna pretty much choose.
All right, so Yosef is at 9. One Delver is right side up, the other one's upside down. It's Fairy Time Raveler.
Well, yeah, I need
We did not expect to get that far.
All right, it's resolving.
with 18 mana. Or after this being fixed. Well,
Bouncing the Insect Aberration, drawing a card. Yosef's life total is still a little bit low.
I've got like techno music in my mind. Can't even think right now.
We have to be careful.
I'm taking Travel Power.
So might as well just get it for 2. 2. On 2.
Okay, attacking for 2 with the Nomads and Core. Equipping the Defender, pass the turn.
This is my hand.
Flipping Delver, showing Power Blast.
I'm gonna hand it to you.
Both players at 9. Yosef with 1 card in hand. Attacking with Insect Elaboration. Yosef drops to 6.
Power X equals.
Okay, Power Blast onto Teferi. Teferi down.
Let's look over to exile the Power Blast.
Ghost Vacuum continues emptying out the graveyard. The second Delver wasn't played by Roland. Fetching puts Yosef at 5. Hedge Maze Surveil. Lumi with a question. If your son plays Magic, what deck you don't want him to play? I know this is kind of a silly question. Intentionally. What deck would I not want my hypothetical son to play?
I don't know if you
How
can
you
say
could
this.
be
Oh, no,
pumped.
I enjoy
No, it's
this one's one of my
if you saw my hand,
It's
you'd
just entertaining.
be amazed.
Also, like, your deck wasn't not. It's not like your deck wasn't doing anything.
Right.
Surveil, sorry. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that card.
Like,
This point.
I don't know. I have no idea.
especially in that deck.
So it's 2
A limited deck with bad fixing.
blue, I guess.
I really didn't.
All right. Nadu is on the stack.
Yeah, like without the game.
Roland's going to Power Blast it.
So really, the MVP should be late. Yeah.
I think what's fun is that the console I play in is that like most people kind of just say like, yeah, I'll take the damage, I'll take the damage. Just the console I play with, they don't care.
Daze on the Power Blast. Force of Negation pitching Murktide on the Daze. Daze is exiled. Nadu is countered then. Replay the Hedge Maze. Surveil. Leave it on top, okay. This game is tight. Roland could win with a bolt on the next turn, potentially. Does Ghost Vacuum do anything here? I think we already used the carpet this turn, right? Yeah, we already used the carpet. Oh, okay. So Orum's Chant gets dumped into the yard. Okay, so Serval actually dumped a card into the yard. I thought we had already finished that. Passing it back to Roland, has the Insectile Aberration. Roland's at 6 life. Attack with the Insectile Aberration. Doesn't seem like Roland has the Bolt. Murktide was stuck in hand for a long time. Got pitched to Force of Negation. That Ghost Vacuum kind of shut off that Murktide.
For me, it's pretty simple.
But a second Murktide could be cast here, potentially.
And Cam's right there.
Wow, new frame.
Close it out at 11, grab a nightcap, and go home.
I had to show out for the actual Scourge. I didn't do it. Oh, there you go, there you go.
Okay, playing another Delver. Playing a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay. Gonna be really hard to get Delirium, but with Yosef at 2. Okay, exiling a Nadu to the Ghost Vacuum. We might be about to get cooking.
That is that's a submarine in terms of like when I first got to the boat.
Roland only has 2 lands, so Carpet Flowers can only make 2 mana.
Alright, well I don't have a time machine, so I'll pay $8.
But the joke was like somebody would like get an energy drink and he'd be like,
Do not have delirium.
the joke is that
No Delirium for Roland. I don't think Roland knows the top of the deck.
and then you can double on plant and power plant.
Oh.
And it's so stupid. I don't expect you to find that one. But that is a deep thing that I had forgotten about.
I'll make a white.
Joke is
Swords was a good draw. Goes after Insectile Aberration. Daze. Return the Volk.
and nobody's ever heard it.
What? Creature, instance, lands.
Feature instant line, yep.
You gotta say it quickly.
Swords of Plowshares was not too bad. Delver flips, revealing Brainstorm. That is the match. Roland gets it. So close. What a match. Well played all around. GG's. That was a good one. That was a good one. Wow. Wow. Yeah, nice flip right at the end. Well played. Okay. Let's set up another poll for the chat to decide which match we will watch next. Which match next? Your options will be Is it Delver versus Black Green Depths, or Jeskai Control versus Red Stompy, Bug Beans versus Red Stompy, Bug versus Bug, or Jeskai versus Jeskai? 1 minute. Get your votes in. Our Discord is up on your screen. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord. Make sure you bookmark and use our TCG Player affiliate link. Links are all over the place for that. Where are we on this poll? A little over 30 seconds. Close vote. Oh, not close anymore. People are voting like crazy. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube that you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. Free. Great way to support. Appreciate everybody that's hit subscribe. Last time I checked, there was about 40% of our audience, I think, have not yet subscribed. Hit subscribe. It's free. Out of time, Lord contributed 1,800 channel points. Bug Beans versus Red Stompy is up next. Let's do it. Thank you, Lord. Diving in.
That we're cooking with gas. That does happen. I'm at 6. Okay. I'll put this bad card on one. Ready? Touch.
Okay, a Malta 6 for Gabe, fetching with a polluted Delta to start. Ed kept 7.
Underground C and cast Ponder.
Underground C, Ponder.
Pass the turn, I'll join your up.
EOT I'm gonna do. So, 19.
Go ahead.
Ancient Tomb. Let's see what Ed starts off with. Simian Spirit Guide, Blood Moon. Okay, Blood Moon pretty damn good against these Beanstalk decks. Force of Will pitching Ponder to protect the mana base.
Yep.
Blood Moon is pretty good against these Sultai decks. Mr. Rainforest pass. Kind of hard to fire off Rakshasa's bargains when all your lands are mountains. There is the One Ring. These Stompy decks just slam threats. Blood Moon into One Ring. Surveil, draw a card in response, put a counter on the One Ring. It's a hedge maze for Gabe.
Trigger. Put this land in my graveyard. Drop. 2. I'll play Beanstalk. Trigger.
Up the Beanstalk.
Yep. Yep. 15.
Okay, loses a life from the One Ring. It has 1 burden counter on it so far. Up the Beanstalk. Obviously an important card in this deck. Gonna draw 2 off the One Ring now. Loading up with stuff. Protection has worn off for now.
Alright, are you gonna nightcap out of this?
Free now, I got nothing but time.
3. 2, 3.
Cantripping away.
Yep.
Blood Moon follow up. Pretty damn good. Well, it's going to be tough for Gabe to recover from that. Just passes the turn. The One Ring deals 2 damage then to Ed, who's in a good position here. Can start just slamming threats now, I think.
Yep.
Gonna draw 3 with the One Ring now.
Oh, sorry. My bad. You're at 13.
Yeah, the Ancient Tombs are mountains. So Fable of the Mirror Breaker comes in. Not sure who has priority right now. Okay, so Force pitching Rakshasa's Bargain, countering the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. I guess we didn't have Force of Will before. I guess. Looks like we're moving to discard. Discarding a copy of Shatterskull Smashing and passing the turn.
Go ahead. Go to 10.
Discarding 4 now with the One Ring. A lot of cards have been drawn off this One Ring so far in this game.
Yep.
This card's still good.
Yep.
All right, this is why the One Ring is so damn good. Replacing it with another, all the bird encounters are cleared. And protection is back. Discarding some cards to hand size now. Okay, discarding a Magus of the Moon. I don't know, 2 other cards. Looked like one of them was a land. Not super relevant.
Of course you did. It took me 45 years. I know, man. It took me 45 years.
So no bird encounters on the ring now. Ed with plenty of cards in hand. Gonna play Volcanic Fissure. And then Paragoyf.
Should be 5. I have instant sorcery land. You have creature, artifacts. Yeah. And enchantment. So 6. I'll take 6.
Okay, 6 power Paragoyf comes in. All right, game 1 goes to Ed. Slammed a threat every turn, won the game. Gabe, will you on the play for game 2?
I'm at 6.
Sounds like Gabe is taking a mulligan. Ed has kept 7. Okay, basic swamp pass a turn. Basic land is helpful. Ancient Tomb, Simian Spirit Guide.
Sure.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, that resolves. Fable of the Mirror Breaker still pretty damn good here in 2025. In kind of the last couple of years of Legacy, we see cards kind of come and go. Fable of the Mirror Breaker stuck around. From Neon Dynasty. I like this card a lot. Continue to get really cool sagas in Magic the Gathering. Very few of them are of Legacy power level. We have Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We have Urza's Saga. Okay, Bowmaster getting flashed in to ping the Goblin Shaman here as Chapter 2 is hit on the Fable. We have Urza Saga, we have Fable. What would be like the 3rd best saga in Legacy? I'm kind of blanking here.
4 in hand, yeah?
4 in hand.
I don't know. Hidetsugu Consumes All. I played that card quite a bit in Legacy back when Neon Dynasty was new. I was playing it in Grixis Control. Unfortunately, it's kind of worn off. Didn't really last. Different meta, different time. Okay, Volcanic Fissure comes in. Pass the turn.
He is just like you got these also we not how much money you got
So an Orcish Bowmaster and an Orc Army on Gabe's side playing some defense. Goblin Shaman didn't want to attack there. Eventually it could attack and make a treasure though if Ed needs it to. I see Ed is holding a copy of Paragoyf, it looks like. Gabe has double Wasteland.
Always both your lands.
All right, waste both of your lands. I like that play. Makes sense. Fable will flip into Reflections of Kiki Jiki. It is summoning sick.
Keep it like that. Let me figure out how many spells.
You get a new, you get a cliff. I'll double block.
Okay, so Goblin Shaman attacks, double block, Goblin Shaman defeated, Orcish Bowmaster, Orc Army defeated. Treasure gets made. I guess Ed needs it. Gonna play a Sundering Eruption as a Volcanic Fissure land and pass. Up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. Not bad. I think I saw a Daze in Gabe's hand, a little bit awkward right now. No islands on the battlefield. At this point in the game, a Blood Moon could still be really good. Reflections of Kiki Jiki, nothing to copy at the moment. But I see a Pyroglyph in Ed's hand. Pyroglyph is so powerful. But the current graveyard situation is pretty light.
3, I believe.
Yep.
Sorcery land
Yep.
creature.
Trigger.
Alright, only 3 power on this Pyroglyph right now. Deals 3 damage successfully. Gabe will have to watch out for the Pyroglyph and Reflections of Kiki Jiki situation, though. Alright, attacking with Reflections. Yeah, no mana to copy currently, but you could see a Simian Spirit Guide or something. But Reflections of Kiki Jiki attack, so we're safe for now.
Let's see, pass it to.
Also, just a follow-up second copy of Pyroglyph could be a big problem as well.
13.
All right, Gabe finally has access to blue mana now after a fetch for a basic island. Should be pretty safe from Blood Moon at this point, except for green. There's a Barrowglyph. That's going to be pretty good. It also will have 3 power. It measures the same as Pyroglyph. This game got interesting.
Sure. How many cards?
Okay, copying the Pyroglyph. Gonna deal 6 damage to the Barrowglyph. Nice.
Six.
Yep. Go to 8.
Okay, attacking for 6. Gabe drops to 8. So pretty easily dealt with the Barrowglyph.
Sure.
Fable of the Mirror Breaker, okay.
Trigger.
This is delirious, right? And also,
It would be
it
delicious.
triggers off of which one was it?
Yeah, nice copy token there.
Dual trigger.
Yeah.
Response to that thing.
And that's fine.
So this resolves?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to swing in. Over there. Yeah.
It's 12.
Sorry. These guys are.
Go. Yeah.
Ah, okay, no follow-up.
Yep.
Looks like Ed has another copy of Pyroglyph in hand. It's pretty much game-winning, I think.
Right. 1, 2, 3. Give me something.
Play a Pyroglyph and then attack. Copy it. Yeah.
So he'd be 6.
Yeah. It's going to be.
Okay, Chromox imprinted a Sundering Eruption, it looked like. 4 mana. Paragoyf.
Yep.
Ed just likely thinking about when is the best time to activate the reflections. 1 card left in Ed's hand.
I think I drew like 6 lands.
I don't think you have that many lands in your deck.
I don't know. Man. I drew that tropical probably 3 times.
Looks like Gabe is holding a copy of Consigned to Memory.
Yeah.
Well, then you drew 8 more fetch lands.
And a Daze.
I was like killing myself.
You only play 7. I don't know how you drew 8, but you somehow managed to figure it out. The good website to buy stuff is TCG, or is there another?
Was that what happened? They had the copy token, but they put it upside down? I didn't even notice that.
If you have a guy that you like that you want to give the business cards, I'm just going to buy those cameos and shit.
Yeah. That's fine. Triggers.
Triggers on this.
Okay, so the Paragoyf triggers are on the stack. 2 triggers from Paragoyf.
You have been efficient, and I'm guessing that you know what cards you're taking in and out, so.
Consigned.
You might have done this once or twice?
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
Okay, both of them are getting counter with Consigned to Memory.
Okay. No, not sure.
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't play this format.
Now you are.
Blue Elemental Blast on the target of reflections.
I play decks like this in Modern.
Welcome to Almost Grown Up Magic.
Almost.
Almost.
One day I'll be an adult.
You gotta roll boxes if you want to play real grown up Magic.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, 6 damage comes in. Gabe drops to 2. Pass the turn.
It's the whippersnapper for now.
That is the match. Mono Red Stompy gets it. We were talking a little bit earlier on today's stream about the Stompy decks with Blood Moon up against Beanstalk, and we had a little sample there of what that's like. GG's, well played. Well played. Good match. Pretty difficult to beat a Blood Moon for sure. Okay. Stick around for a raid, everybody. Stick around for a raid. You'll get some channel points for sticking around. That wraps it up for me for today. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. I'll see everybody soon. Join the Discord. Peace out.